Hey everybody, good Thursday to everyone. I'm Mike Malai, and if you didn't know that already, anybody that's looking in, we got co-hosts Rich Cotieri and joining us is Scott Graham, and Ted Mettis is here on camera. You can see him. So welcome everybody. We're going to change our formats a little bit, and on Thursdays we're going to we're going to start talking about some different things too, and talking about little stuff with the industry that we're in, and say, hey, what are some of the top news stories? What are some of the stuff that's happening, especially in AI and visual effects and storytelling? I've been putting together some stories with Rich, and we've been trying to see what might be interesting to everyone. Um, as we all know, AI is making rapid advances in the entertainment industry. It's going from theoretically possible to practical applications. While it's triggering a lot of legal and policy and technical debates with everybody, uh, especially with the unions and some content creators. Uh, some of these developments that have been happening kind of, you know, underscore that the AI's you know, growing role in content creation and development and visual effects, is becoming real world. It's like, but other people are panicked because they're saying, hey, they're questioning, you know, the intellectual property and a performer's rights. Well, I think it'll get even more protection now with this by bringing it to the forefront. I mean, that's what Words of Film By is all about, is protecting your own personal IP, on your stories and everything. And then that's something that Scott's vigorously trying to develop and has developed. And in the coming weeks, you guys are going to see a lot more new stuff out there that's going to help make this more real in our environment. I mean, right now, it's like, what are the rules of engagement? The industry's grappling with all the legal ramifications of AI, particularly concerning unauthorized use, which, everybody's panicking about it, but somebody's using your likeness, you know, they're actionable. It's like there's nothing to
Right.
be afraid about. Somebody's using you. Hey, great. You just used me in something and you made a ton of money on that. Guess what? My lawyer's going to give you a call, and just like, and SAG will get behind it too if somebody's using you. That's not going to happen. I guarantee you. Not in the big happenings of it. It would, anybody wants to make money, and it's like, hey, you write a license to do that, cool. You taking me on and using me without my permission, cool. My lawyer's going to call you, and there's guaranteed payments to lawyers on top of any kind of damages, because the way the copyright laws are set up. So, reflecting on those concerns, there's a lot of support. uh, uh, you know, there's a whole new thing called the No Fakes Act. It's backed by YouTube, the recording industry, the RIAA, and SAG-AFTRA. So I think the Writers Guild has still yet to chime in on that, but it's just a matter of time. So um, the legislation is trying to create a standardized federal rules, which always gets a little weird anytime the Fed gets involved, making rules and legislating something. But sometimes, just like the copyright laws are written really well. It guarantees that the lawyer is going to get paid above and beyond the damages that person who was violated gets paid. So that's one of those cases where legislation is, you know, great, because you know you violate a copyright or the essence of a copyright, it gives the lawyer an opportunity to get paid, make sure he gets paid if he takes the case. So those kind of safeguards are good. Um,
I
the
don't know why do you think actors, and I'm an actor and I'm in SAG and after, inequity. I don't know why actors are so afraid that they're going to get screwed up, that anyone's going to use their likeness without getting paid. I don't understand why they're so afraid of that.
I mean, it's like, okay, so you're doing funny videos or you're making satire. If I wrote a joke about somebody and I made a skit, just like they do on Saturday Night Live, and they make funny jokes about people. Well, you're doing a joke about Clint Eastwood, or you're doing a joke about Burt Reynolds, or you're doing a bit, and there's somebody portraying, or like how Will Ferrell always portrayed what's his name from Jeopardy, uh,
Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek. Um, so they're dressing up like them, they're imitating them, and they're doing a skit. You know,
Yeah,
on satire, that's going to happen forever. And you could say you could sue them for defamation, but that is not copyright infringement. When somebody's going ahead and creating, hey, there's a new movie starring Robert De Niro, and here's an AI version of Robert De Niro, and you're using his likeness. Well, guess what? That's a copyright violation. That's and that's not going to happen. And if it does happen,
no, I understand. I'm saying I don't know why actors are so scared that it's going to happen. SAG wouldn't allow that. I don't understand
no,
why they're so nervous about that.
and I wonder if it's more so than the actors, or if it's the representation that's tossing it out there. Saying, hey, this is what could happen. This is what's happening. I haven't met an actor personally, maybe two, that complained about that. Um, you know,
Right,
and I told them, you should be so lucky that somebody would rip off your image. So, then you could,
right,
because then you'll actually make an income. So,
right, right, right,
and I don't think there's too much of that complaining going on, whether it's just reporters reporting on it, because it's in the Associated Press, it's in Variety, it's in Hollywood Reporter, all the news wires on the entertainment thing, because it's a newsworthy story. I don't know how much of that fear is just hype. um, Speaking of the Associated Press, they recently launched a new content delivery platform. It's all powered by AI, and it's featuring enhanced search capabilities and personalized content recommendations. So while AP serves the news industry, its adoption of AI is standing out. Because they're in the business, in the biz, and they manage to surface a lot of the vast archives of text, audio, visual content that's out there. So, them doing that, I mean, it actually makes sense, because AI helps to organize in a lot of ways. So, entertainment companies that are managing these extensive libraries, I'm sure they're exploring similar AI solutions to perform, those internal asset management. You know, Listen, all of our contracts, anybody that's done, Rich, I think on every contract you've ever signed, I know on mine, on any job we've ever taken, it says, if they're allowed in advertising to use your likeness to help promote the movie, promote the film, in any way they deem fit, and you agree to that. Anything above and beyond that, adding new scenes in, you are to be paid.
right,
It's in the contract. So it's like, hey, you got the license to use my image. You can alter my image. You can change a few things, unless you've got it, specifically noted. Hey, you cannot use my image for anything else other than I filmed for.
right, right. Because that happens too. Like when I did setup and I was on that, my image was on those office buildings in Japan.
I mean, it was wild. I mean, what a cool thing. It's like the
Yeah, and on billboards and things like that.
you on like a 50-story building in
Yeah,
Tokyo.
yeah,
He's rich in a painted on the side of a building.
right.
Yeah.
But I didn't get paid extra for that. But some jobs I've done, I've gotten paid extra for billboards and things like that. But that's in the contract. So I mean, it depends what you sign on for that particular project. If your likeness, if you're gonna get paid, what deal you're striking for that particular project. But you always either you do or you don't. It depends what deal you're striking.
Right, right. It's like, hey, look at filmmakers like James Cameron. I mean,
Yeah, he's doing stuff with AI now.
oh yeah. I mean, he was always a pioneer in, video effects.
Yeah,
Look at some of the stuff he's done. I mean,
yeah.
it's unbelievable on, you know, visual effects. So of course, he's investigating the generative AI tools. He's working with Stability,
Ability.
and he's using prompts for creating uh, visual effects. It's like I guess there were some people clamoring about it. He even said it was making him feel a little bit queasy about the broader implications about it. But he said that you know he says it's time, and it's the AI tools are really being evaluated, and it's moving to help production, and you know it's actually going to save money for a lot of productions on that. So
We talk about it all the time in this program about, and we tell writers, we tell actors, it's show business.
yeah,
And we talked about this all the time, and this is going to happen because it saves people money, it saves corporations money, it saves studios money, producers money. So it's going to happen. So you have to learn to use it to your advantage. That's all there is to it. You
yeah.
have to learn to use it. Writers need to use it not to write for you, but to use it as a tool, as James Cameron will do for his company. And it's happening because it's show business. The business is about making money.
Right. Yeah,
And
it's like you can call it the art of filmmaking, but you know what? If you're not making money, you're not making any art because nobody's gonna.
if you don't make, if you make a film and it doesn't make money, you're not making a second film.
No, you're not. Yeah, I mean that's a given.
And
I,
if
I
you
mean, and it's cool that Cameron said, "Hey, it's a tool." I was really excited that was a comment. It's like he used the word tool, and that's that's
you're going to make a $10,000 movie look like $1 million movie.
yeah.
That's what you're going to be able to do. I mean, that's the bottom line. So it's something but use it as a tool. That's what we always teach, and I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen for everything, for acting, for writing, for everything, for editing.
There was a study done by a guy named Roland Berger, and
Mm.
he had put out in the study they were saying that that AI could slash in sci-fi alone, sci-fi and fantasy films, it could slash the person days up to 65% on some of the stuff that needs to be done. So not saying, hey, you're taking away acting roles, you're not taking, that away, and you're not taking away you're not taking away the writer, you're not taking away any of the people, but you are saving money. I mean, are some of the practical effects guys and the stunt guys, is their work going to get reduced? Logically, probably yeah, because you know what, that to get the permits, to file the paperwork, to get all the insurance for everything, to have a guy jump from this building to that building.
But that guy was saying like from 6,200 days of work down to like 2,500 days of work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean like horror films, romantic comedies, period pieces, all of them. It's like they were talking about slashing 45%, 40%, 20% in a lot of these productions because of the mundane repetitious things that can be done by an AI agent that can take care of a lot of that stuff. I mean, stop and think, you make one change on a schedule. And it's a lot of man hours to reset that up. If you have the assistance of an AI agent, how much that's going to save right there? Getting away from the visual effects, just the practicality of the production.
I don't care what anybody says, and I'll fight anybody on this. I've been on enough sets to know, and I've written enough to know, and there's a lot of fucking waste
Oh
on
yeah.
film and productions. There's tons of waste. Tons of people get paid for shit that is a waste of money. Time is wasting. They waste so much time. They waste so much money. They do. If anybody says that's not true, it is true.
What was it? Though John's not a big director, he made a great statement. John Anton, who did Guns, Drugs, and Dirty Money that Rich was in. I had a small role. but it had a slew of logistical problems for a very talented filmmaker making this movie, and it violated a lot of story rules creating, but it turned out great. One of the things he said, it's like, well, people were criticizing him, and you're talking about this was back in the 90s and 2001, I think is when or 2010 it finally came out because of 9/11 got it slowed up. He goes, he says, well, you really think you're going to pull this off with this little teeny crew? And he goes, absolutely. He goes, bigger crews, bigger problems. How many times that we hear directors say that of note? Even Billy Crystal made that comment. He
That's
goes, why do I have to have 10 people standing here doing nothing? And he complained a lot on 61 because it was his money.
yeah. Well, yeah, it's true though.
I
It,
don't need all these people, he goes.
it's a lot. It's a lot of waste in filmmaking, and it's not necessary.
Right.
It's not necessary. So I think AI is going to help with that. It really is.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like it's going to play a bigger part every day. And plus, like Scott was the first one that brought it to my attention. He goes, "Hey, guess what? You know, copyright. They've approved it. It was a landmark legal decision. How it's had significant implications for AI development and the use of copywritten materials. So now, how does the rule go, Scott? If it's the human that uh, created it and used it as an AI assistant, is that how it
Well,
goes?
that's a whole subject. Like you
Yeah,
have to like have human hands on it. We're working on it. My soul identity stuff got rejected because of this.
because it was things weren't identified, I guess.
We got to work through.
Yeah, we got to work through it, and we will. But it's like the fact that they'll accept work that was initiated by a human that has AI in it. Hey, look, if I sketch out an image and I fill it in by color with Photoshop and say, hey, I need you to 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 change the coloring in that.
Mm.
That's AI. If I go in and say, hey, look for grammatical errors in my writing and any like fix the commas because I abuse the comma constantly. You know, that's AI help. So it will show up as AI uh, assisted. So yeah, I love it, and it's more reliable, and it's cheaper to have a editor as AI than having to spend $7,000 on having have an editor come in and give you their advice. I don't want the advice. I just want you to look and say, hey, how's my structure? How's my wording?
People are just fearful. That's all it is. It comes down to being fearful. They're afraid or they're scared. That's all it comes down to because they don't. It's like anything else. When you don't know about something, it becomes the people are fearful of it, so they back away from it
The, the,
instead of embracing it and using it again for the 10th time as a tool to help you.
right, right.
Once they understand that it's a tool to help them, then maybe they'll just relax about this.
I
And
think it's gonna. I'm sorry to interject. It's
Go
probably
on,
gonna
please.
help. It's probably gonna help the most when we're actually showing people what we've been working on, Rich. It's hard to explain. Like here, we're gonna just take you through and see.
yeah,
But, the truth of the matter is everyone's hand stitching things together. They're using this tool, Chat GPT, to get things going. And if
right.
they tell you they're not using it, they're full of shit. They're lying to you.
Of
Yeah.
They,
course,
they
man.
just don't want you to, right? That's what it is.
Right. They don't want.
Because they think it's an advantage, but the real truth of the matter is there's an infinite number of stories, and out of the infinite number of stories, there's good ones and there's bad ones. And maybe the AI can help you get started, but it's not going to do the work. Like I don't get that. I know what you're talking about, Rich, because I've been just recently on X.com starting to listen more what people are talking about this stuff.
Yes,
And there's some really crazy things that people are saying. I'm like, what?
they're so
Like, I mean,
scared.
could you imagine what it was like when the painters got really riled up because the camera people came on the scene?
Oh yeah. Oh,
They're like, that's not okay.
let me go one step further back. I think it was what I forgot who it was. It was Rembrandt that had used a lens, like a piece of glass, to cast an image to sketch the person that he was looking at with in a light on there, and they're saying, well, he's using this technology to try to copy the likeness in a speedier fashion. Well, that's a Lucy camera, you know. It's in
Like
Rembrandt's time, It's like, okay, so everybody's had some kind of a tool,
it just comes down to fear. Even Edison with the light bulb,
Oh
people
yeah.
were like, "Oh God, it's going to start. It's dangerous and it's the devil." And people who were in the candle business are going to go out. It's all fear based. That's all it is. But we're gonna pave the way.
The 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 one cool thing though is that with the legislation, it's like all of us here are authors. We all have written stuff ourselves with no help. I mean, it's like we all have our own lives. My life story and stuff. It's my life. I wrote about it. Is there errors in it? Yeah. If I want to correct something, yeah, I can use AI. But the one good thing about legislation is it really does protect us creators from data scrapping too. What scraping, where they're
Yeah.
companies are coming in there with a web crawler and stealing your content. Steal my stuff. I could use the money and sue you. That's fine. But it's like that being legislated and that really helps. Look, Words to Film By is created on our books. We have copywritten material. All of our stuff. I mean, for 25 years, it's this is our stuff. So things that we wrote and we created, things
Mhm.
that we learned and we put into book form. Everything's based on our copywritten stuff. All of the things that Scott's doing is from our thought, not from some other source. It's the three of us. So it, it's uh it's good to do it the right way, you know, and AI to help along with that is a great thing as far as that goes.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's and the other, and productions are by the way, just changing the subject, but things are getting greenlit day and night. This Hollywood is getting busy over there. There's so many. Amazon Prime is greenlighting things left and right. HBO is so many things. I'm just reading on this thing that we sent on today. It's HBO's renewed Dune Prophecy for a second season. Apple
Yep.
TV has ordered second seasons of Drops of God, Monarch. Like so many things are getting greenlit. So many celebrities are being attached. Things are going great. Things are being made. Let's get involved, people.
Oh yeah.
Let's get our stuff made.
And that's like anybody in the business. It's like, hey, if you're a plumber, you should get Plumber's Digest. What's new coming up? I mean, I was thrilled when I didn't have to use an acetylene torch and solder, to put a pipe together. I thought I found the new invention of the wheel, a shark bite to put the pipe on, and I saved $400 from having a plumber come over to change that pipe out because they wanted $400 just to come into the house for that. So that's on the plumber's side. So like if other plumbers out there, you don't know what plumbers are doing, you should be reading Plumber's Digest. Well, same thing with us in the entertainment industry. You guys should be getting, and a lot of these feeds are free. You don't have to buy all these subscriptions, but like Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, all the trade magazines, they say who's doing what, who's casting for what kind of writers they're looking for, and what's trending. I'm going to try to provide everybody with some of that data coming up, like what's trending, what kind of scripts, are the distributors looking for right now. It's great to have some of that insight in there. Plus, you can use your AI to search that out. Just go through it with a detailed thing, and a lot of that information is coming out of Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and Deadline. So just try to reach and absorb as much as you can in the business. Try to look towards the phone by that. We'll try to have as much as we can here to keep you guys informed too.
I
And
just
that's
want to chime in. I think it's a great efficiency and a tool. The old days we chatted about the other day of going to the library and going to microfiche to research something. You want to make your characters better. You want to make your story better. It really is, I think, a great tool for those things. It's not replacing your creativity, but it's making a better project more efficiently, which I think would lead to more scripts. I look at it and think, wow, I could output more stories faster using this tool. So I'm excited by it.
For sure. I mean, it's like, and it is cool. I mean, no matter how you look at it, we are at the beginning of something new. It's like, the beginning of the internet. You know, I,
right.
I remember it was like when I had my club in 90, we got it in 94, started building it and saying, getting the word out, having to get it to all the jam rags, about, hey, we're doing underground ska, the Boss Tones are going to come and play at a midnight show. Nobody knew who they were, No Doubt, Squirrel Nut Zippers, all these guys, that were nobodies, the nobodies, and we had to do it that way with the click of a finger with the internet. How that would have spread the word. It happened very organically back then, getting people to come in. And so they're saying, "Oh, I don't trust this internet thing. They're going to get all your data." That's like I don't trust it. You're in their bill. We're in there. Well, I don't know what everybody was afraid about. It's like, hey,
It's all
sign me
fear.
up. I wish I had it earlier.
It's all fear based, man. That's all.
Yeah, fear-based. And and like you said, that's all this is again too. And plus, don't forget gaming. It's like, hey, this is opening up doors for regular screenwriters, creators, you know, to be seen a little bit more
Hmm.
by some game producers on their stories. Hey, you've got an interesting story and something that could really, really, really become a good game or something like that. You
Yeah,
have
for sure.
resources at your fingertips to help you develop that a lot more.
And
So,
there's people willing to help with the good to do that now. They just don't have ideas. Believe it or
right.
not, there's people who are not creative.
It's amazing. It's somebody that could build a vast world like Grand Theft Auto or a Fallout. I loved Fallout. I mean, I'm not a gamer, but man, did I love that game. I mean, watching my kids play it. Then it became a series.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're there. We can help you develop it into a series.
Yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. I mean, that's I hope you got something out of it today.
It's
Yeah.
choppy out there, but hopefully we can just harness what you guys already do and make it more interactive so people can see that they're not going to get away from doing the work. Some aspects might go faster, like research, but you
Absolutely.
still have to absorb it and like, okay, how do I adapt this? I mean, you're not
Yeah.
going to get away from that, right?
Yeah. Artists want to create. They want
But
they
yeah, you want to spend the most time on the thing that you're doing, which is creating. The R&D has to be done. So it's just the faster you can get it out of the way, the better, right?
Right.
absolutely. Like
Yeah,
Teddy
that's
said,
it.
if you in the time you could write two scripts, instead of one.
Yeah,
Great.
exactly. You're still gonna have to go walk the ground and stuff, but maybe you'll just know what you're looking at better. Maybe the AI will say, "Yeah, this is what this means." I mean, that's another aspect people are not getting.
Exactly.
We'll
I,
show them. This is show, not tell. All right. Anything else?
Yeah,
Final
yeah,
thing?
and I just want to reiterate about AI. It's like I beat the drum. It's like everybody should have a great writing partner like I got. I mean, it's hard. That took 25 years, to a relationship. But although we made a great friendship right off the bat, I mean, he can second guess me, I can second guess him. We can also call each other out. And a good AI, like Scott's AI, what a great uh uh
Partner.
pair that you've created over there. Um, having that kind of that level of collaboration is like saying, "Hey God, I want to design, I want you to design for me a really good writing partner. I don't want to argue with and I don't want to fight with. I don't want him to be a yes man, but I want him to be like the best possible writing partner I could have." And that's what the opportunity is, having AI there. You know, it doesn't take away from having human collaboration. It's, I don't care if you're a writing team or not, you could still have a great writing partner in your AI, you know, in your team. So
Absolutely.
absolutely.
All right. All right.
That's
Thank you
it.
so much. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great job.